I remember the scent before anything else. Cinnamon, pine, and something faintly metallic. An aroma that didn't belong, lingering like a warning. She was in the kitchen, humming softly, her back to me, sprinkling flour over the counter, as if a little innocence could be conjured from dust. "Remember," she said lightly, almost casually, "be mature tonight. Daniel's coming. It's been ages. We're adults now." I nodded, a smile that didn't reach my eyes curling briefly. Calm, measured, like someone who had learned to breathe underwater after drowning in betrayal. She didn't notice the change in me. She never did. We had been married 8 years, together for 10. The kind of love people post on social media, matching mugs, weekend hikes, inside jokes whispered at gatherings. She used to trace circles on my wrist when she was anxious, murmuring that I made her feel safe. I had believed her. I had built my life around that lie. Daniel, her college ex, had been nothing, she had insisted. Just a fleeting memory. I remember how dismissive she sounded when she said it. Rehearsed almost, as if the words themselves could erase history. But people who mean nothing don't text at midnight. They don't call while you're in the shower. And they certainly don't hide behind fake names in your contacts. I discovered the truth by chance. Her phone buzzed beside me while she slept, the glow revealing a message from someone named Sarah at work. It wasn't Sarah. It was Daniel. "Can't stop thinking about you tonight," the message read. I didn't confront her immediately. I watched her sleep, studied the lines of her face in the dim light, and realized that the woman I loved had quietly abandoned me months ago. Beside me was only a body wearing loyalty like perfume. Noticeable, intoxicating, until it inevitably fades. Revenge, I realized, is not anger. It is patience wearing a mask of civility. I began subtly. Digital breadcrumbs left in plain sight but unseen. I mirrored her messages, backed up her cloud, logged her calls. Every whispered confession to Daniel was cataloged, time-stamped, archived. Lies cross-referenced. When I discovered their meetings, hotels, business lunches, therapy sessions, I didn't explode. I listened. I recorded. I smiled through ordinary dinners, kissed her forehead, performed the role of the unsuspecting husband. Then she mentioned Christmas. "Daniel will be in town. He'll join us for dinner. Be mature," she said. I almost laughed. The timing was perfect. 2 weeks before Christmas, I reached out to someone else, Clara, Daniel's fiancée. A tagged photo on his Instagram had revealed her existence. A woman with gentle eyes. A ring that gleamed too brightly for a hand that belonged to another. I sent her everything, screenshots, voice notes, receipts, dates. She didn't cry. She simply responded, calmly arranging a plan as precise and quiet as a surgical incision. Christmas arrived, garlanded in soft fairy lights and the false warmth of tradition. The living room glowed under candles. My wife looked stunning, hair curled, red dress clinging, a smile carefully rehearsed. She kept checking her phone, anxious for signals. The doorbell rang. Daniel appeared, confident, the same grin from old photographs she never deleted. He hugged her a little too long. I shook his hand firmly, just enough to make him flinch. Dinner began with polite laughter, harmless chatter, roast beef and red wine. Carols humming softly in the background. Another knock echoed through the house. "Who's that?" my wife asked, eyebrows knitting. I wiped my hands on the napkin and replied, "I invited someone too. Thought it'd be fun." The door opened. Clara stepped inside, composed, a measured calm in her eyes. The silence that followed was exquisite, heavy, electric. My wife's fork clattered against her plate. Daniel froze, a visible tension stealing color from his face. "Clara," my wife stammered. "What are you doing here?" "Oh, don't stop on my account," Clara said, walking to the table. "I was dying to meet the woman my fiancé has been cheating with." The words struck like crystal shattering on marble. Daniel's denial faltered. The proof I had sent Clara now lay between candles and untouched food. My wife's voice cracked, pleading, defensive, raw. I remained silent, savoring the collapse of their perfect little secret. "You planned this," she hissed finally, trembling with accusation. I met her gaze calmly. "No, you did," I said. "I only set the table." Clara removed her ring, placing it beside her plate. "Consider this my Christmas gift," she said to Daniel before leaving. The door clicked shut behind her. My wife tried to speak, but I was already on my feet. Your things are packed. Emails forwarded to your parents. The lawyer will call tomorrow about separation. Everything I built, you tried to destroy, but I don't share my ruin. Tears came, quiet at first, then breaking into the kind reserved for funerals. She reached for me. I stepped back. I wanted you to forgive me, she whispered. I did, I said. That's why I let you go before you even realized it. I watched her leave, Daniel trailing behind. Two people bound by shame rather than love. Silence reclaimed the house. Candles flickered, then went dark. I sat back at the table, the residue of chaos still lingering. The wine tasted richer now, calm earned. I raised my glass to an empty room and whispered, "Merry Christmas," and smiled, not in joy, but in the serene satisfaction of finality. Peace, I learned, is not given. It is reclaimed quietly, deliberately, one act at a time.